have. That way you're going to be able to cast a bigger net. All right? And the final thing is, when you need to tell how we make money, all right? Now, yes, we need to tell the opportunity in that we explain the compensation plan. But honestly, when you really want to get to how we make the bigger dollars, okay? This row in the front, you know what they got really good at? They got really good at telling the network marketing story. I love it when someone asks me, is this a pyramid? I can't wait to get to that conversation. That's the conversation I want to get to. Because if I can knock those barriers down with my passion and my love for this business, they're play in my hands, right? I can do what I want with that deal after that, right? So the only way I can explain how hard that is, though, that transformation that I just spoke about just a few minutes ago, we had never done this business before. So I was not thrilled about telling my friends about network marketing. In fact, it was very, very hard for me to tell my business associates, my friends, about this because it was network marketing. The only way I can explain it, guys, is like, I told one of our CEOs once, because this is Mama, and I wanted him to know this is Mama. So I said, listen, you need to do a good job because there's a lot of people that went through a lot of stuff to get to where we are. And it leaves an emotional toll at some point, right? And I said, if you want to know what it's like emotionally to be a network marketer for the first time, can anybody relate to this for the first time? Right? I mean, if you went out these doors and told somebody that you were a network marketer, you can say with conviction, that's good, but I bet 90% can't do that, right? I told him, take off all your clothes, get naked, and go stand in the middle of this restaurant. Emotionally, it's unbelievable. Could you imagine emotionally? You would be embarrassed. Are you embarrassed sometimes to tell people you're in network marketing? Would you feel like people were laughing at you? I felt like that when Gabe talked to me about people he thought was laughing at him about this business, right? That's the emotions you go through. But I'm telling you guys, the faster you can get comfortable in your nakedness with network marketing, the faster you're going to see your way to the front of this row, guys. It's tell those stories well with passion, and you're going to be on your way.
Really, it's the belief that's driving that. And when people can feel your belief, it transfers. But Brandon talked about those 3 different components of telling the story. Your story is kind of like the foundation of a house. You got to get that in place first to move on to the next so that people hear you. A lot of times distributors will say, well, I don't have a great story to tell. I don't believe that. I think everybody has a great story. It's a matter of unearthing it and pulling the layers back on it. I've been telling my story for 6.5 years since we got involved with LifeVantage. And it wasn't until just a couple years ago that I realized I wasn't really telling the raw, honest story that would connect with more people. And when I'm in front of a room sharing the LifeVantage opportunity, my goal is to connect with as many people as I possibly can because I want them to hear what I'm saying. If I make that connection, maybe they'll hear me, right? Maybe they'll hear the solution. So when I tell my story, I would always say, you know, Brandon and I were running our own businesses when LifeVantage was introduced. I did the books for those businesses out of our house. So I had the ability to do it when I wanted to do it. If I wanted to go on a field trip with the kids, I did. If I wanted to go to the park with the kids, I did. Brandon didn't have those same choices because he was kind of the front man for our businesses. So he'd have to go show his face to the managers and oversee the employees. And if he made a decision to go on a field trip, it affected our finances because he needed to oversee that. So for him, it felt like he was chained to those businesses, that he didn't have choices. With LifeVantage, we found that LifeVantage can give us time freedom and financial freedom. So maybe that person in the audience that is a business owner goes, yeah, I feel like that. I'm chained to my business. I have no freedom. Or maybe the dad in the audience goes, yeah, I've never been on a field trip with my kids. I don't have that choice. And all of a sudden they're listening for the solution, right? So we can go to step 2. But that connection was made. Then I talk about my story a little more and I say, you know, those books that I've always done out of our house, if anything ever happened to Brandon, I'd have no books to do, right? That income would be gone. So yeah, it's working right now, but life happens sometimes. And with LifeVantage, what we found is that we can build this together, and it's gonna outlive us. It's gonna surpass us. And if anything ever happened to Brandon, I could do this without him. And so that's the answer that life...
You don't need me?
Be worried. I gotta keep him in check once in a while. So you see, now maybe a woman in the audience goes, you know, I'm in that position. If anything happened to my husband, I don't know what I would do to provide for my kids. So now she's listening, right? So I told you that there was a deeper, more raw portion of my story that I didn't share for years. It was probably a protection mechanism. But when my father was 51, he was killed in a car accident. I knew I was going to do that. And my mom was 50 at the time. And was left with this traumatic news, right? Traumatic news. And she had to start thinking about how she was going to provide financially for herself and my brother who was living at home at the time. That's not a position you want to find yourself in. She was forced to simplify. She was forced to go out and do a job that she didn't want to do. But that's what she had to do because she had been a housewife and stay-at-home mom up until that point. You guys, I did not ever want to find myself in that position, and thanks to LifeVantage, I never will. That story would connect with more people? Do you think that they can see my heart and my raw honesty with them? You guys, if you want people to put their wall down a little bit to hear what we have, you've got to put yours down a little bit. We live in a very guarded society. People have been stolen from, cheated, scammed, lied to, and now you come along with the perfect answer. This will give you financial freedom and time freedom and happiness and joy, and it can do it all. And they're going, oh, heck no. You're not getting me. That wall gets thicker and taller, right? But when you're honest and open and connect, it comes down enough to where they can hear you, okay? The other significant thing about knowing and telling your story in a raw way is every time you say it, it's a reminder as to your driving force as to why you're doing this. That's the significance of your story.
Something I thought of the other day that I wanted to share with you